Welcome into T4G Sports. Today we're going to show you guys how to get the best recruiting classes with a one-star program. You could turn a one-star program over in little to no time. I took Kent State. I got a 5-star, 1 5-star, 9 4-stars, 17 3-stars, and this is just my second year. This is my second year with the program. It's easy. Any one of you guys can do this. If you follow the methods, you follow the system, you will be just fine. So make sure to hit that like button, subscribe, click the notification bell, and let's light it up. So we're going to choose the one-star program, Kent State. They won one game last year. They went 1-11. But I'll tell you, that doesn't matter. The only thing that matters is if you look at that upside down, that looks pretty damn good. So in creating your coach or editing your coach, it's important you have a good playbook, because just because you have a one-star program does not mean you have to have a one-star playbook. There's players that care about playing style, and you need all the help you can get. You're not selling your tradition. No. What I am this year is I'm an Oregon spread salesman. That's what I am. I'm a base 3-4-3 defense salesman. Maybe I'll even jump to the 3-3-5 salesman. Whatever defense you want, but I like the Oregon spread. I like a lot of different defense. 4-2-5, base 4-3, the 3. I already said it, so I've already said all of them. But you could choose any one you want, really. Pipeline, Alabama, alma mater, doesn't matter. But Alabama, I choose this one, not because it's going to give you a huge, significant increase. However, it's just going to be nice because the other ones are sectioned off. So that's why I choose that. All right, real quick. The only time players give a crap if you're winning is when they're scheduled to visit you. That's the only time they care. Okay. Are you gonna win when I show up on my visit? Yes, we are, because that's the only time winning matters. That's it. I've gotten plenty of top 2 recruiting classes, and I won 8 games. Okay, with USC, mind you. It was not that hard. Okay, so when upgrading your coach, do not go quarterback. This is a singular position. That is not going to help you win if you just go quarterback or even halfback and fullback. This position's stupid. This is a stupid position. Wide receivers are better at halfbacks than halfbacks are. Wide receivers are better than tight ends are at tight ends. Okay, that's simple. You want to get as much bang for your buck as possible. Defensive line, you get D tackles, you get D ends, and those D ends can be moved to outside linebacker, right? Offensive linemen, you get 5 starting offensive linemen. 5 linemen starting, or 5 4-stars is much more important than 1 4-star quarterback. By far. Okay, by far. So that's how you want to think about this. And I may make some audibles here and there. If I'm looking at it and I've kind of boosted up on these guys here, but I have some deep backs that I think I can get, I'll go upgrade this. You know, don't be afraid to have some audibles. You're not going to be perfect. You just have to rely on your system. All right, so when setting up your recruiting board, if you just go to what the CPU tells you when you suck like this, they just tell you don't even try. I don't like that. So what I do is I just go through, I go by quarterback. And by halfback, I go by position. The reason I do that is because of the fact that it puts all the athletic guys where they're best at. So whether it's linebacker or whatever, you don't have to guess. Because when it's a linebacker, you're not going to know just by looking at his tendency. It could say run stopper, and you have no idea. But he's actually best suited at Mike linebacker. And there was actually a guy in here where that was the case, right here. So I don't have to guess. So scroll through and do it based upon the position that's first and foremost. So when you are doing a 3-star team, you don't want to play like Ohio State. You don't want to play any real good team. You just don't want to play them, right? What you want to do is you want to have most of your open games. If you have an open game at the end of the year, change it. Put it in the beginning. And the reason is because you're not going to get visits in the beginning of the year. Visits are huge. And also, if you take off the really good teams, you're going to bump up when it's championship contenders. So players that value going to a championship, you're going to have a better opportunity by not playing Ohio State, by playing, the Children of the Corn or something like that. Like, that's what you're going to want to do, because scheduling really good teams is not going to benefit me. Going undefeated is going to benefit me more because I'm a championship contender more than me going into Columbus and absolutely getting smacked around. Okay, so when setting up your recruiting board, you have way less time than everyone else. I only have 450 hours in the setting up recruiting week, right? So what you have to do is you have to look at the deal breakers. For one, you see the proximity to home. That's something that's in my favor. Anything that's in your favor because you're wanting to crush the visit. The only time a player cares when you're winning is when they're scheduled to visit you. That's it. Just win that game. Just win that game. That's it. And the other thing too is when you schedule games or schedule visits on games with a 1-star program, there's a lot of these teams that even though it's a crappy game, it gives you 3 influence, which is great. They give you a bonus. Okay, so I really do like that. But I'm looking for playing time. That's what I'm looking. A pluses, proximity to home, great. A plus. I'm trying to get anybody and everyone playing time right there. Yates. And then once I get these guys, all I do is I give them all scholarships, right? That's what I do. I give them all scholarships because I have to spend as much points as someone else who has more than double my points, right? Double my hours because I'm just a small school. So I can't scout them. It's not a smart thing to do to actually scout them 4 and 5 stars. You just give them a scholarship. I'll scout 3-star players later on. Right now, once I had the leftover points from giving everyone a scholarship, then I went through and did it to all the guys where their deal breaker favored me the most. A plus. Because the whole goal is that I'm not faster than Alabama. I'm not faster than Ohio State or any of the other big dogs or even some of the medium tier or even some of the lower tier guys. I'm not faster than them. But by the time you realize I'm gone and the race started, I'm 30 minutes away and you're not going to catch me. Okay? That's what you need to think about. So I'm not going to be scouting anybody until the end of the year. That's not going to happen. So the next week after that, what you're going into is damage control. Okay? And I'll show you really quick. I cut the 2 quarterbacks. These guys just offered them a scholarship. You can tell because it's not that big of a gap, right? Now, next week, they could offer him more. This guy here, Rust, the likelihood of me getting Rust, even though it's Akron, Purdue, Cincinnati, for a halfback, halfbacks are not valuable enough to where you should go after him, right? So that's basically what I'm doing. I'll go back to it and just give you another couple examples here. This guy cut me out, okay? Yates, 2 guys going after him. It looks like they're actually going after him. Like, that's a big gap. This Brooks here, it's the Cajuns, Raging Cajuns, and I think I could get him. Actually, this guy I'm not going to get. Like, it's not going to happen. This guy am I going to get? Very unlikely. Very, very unlikely. Same thing there. Most of these guys I'm not going to get. So, just kind of looking at him, Stover, this is perfect. Okay, absolutely perfect. I'm not going to be able to get him because I have to just think of little avenues to be able to go after some of these guys. I could probably get J.J. Blunt. Okay, I might be able to get Trent Riddick. I highly doubt I'm not going to be able to get him. You could see the gap's too high. The gap's too high there. Michigan's going after him. These 2 guys, there's a potential because the gap is just they're not exploding on the scene. Unfortunately, both these DNs, not a shot, right? It's just you're fighting a battle that is just not going to pan out well for you. This is another one too. Not going to be good. This guy has no visits whatsoever. So what I'm going to do is instead of adding send the house with the maximum influence of 4, this one you could send, you get 3. This one you could send, you get 2. This one you could send, you get 1. For 40 points, I'm getting more than if you just spent 50. Okay? The 50 works for the big dogs because they can add other ones on top of it, and that's what makes sending the house just so tough, right? But when my option is send the house or do these ones, I'm going with the latter because I'm going to be able to get much more maximum influence with spending less hours. The goal is to spend less and be more effective than the big guys. And then what I'm doing after I cut some of the guys off, then what I'm doing is I'm going to the top guys and I'm going to see, okay, is there a guy who is not being offered anything, and he's a 4-star. I got Graber, Larry Graber, right here. Playing time. He absolutely loves it. By the way, this is all randomized. It's completely randomized. Proximity to home, great, but he's got offers. So that quarterback, I have a really good opportunity to possibly to snag if no one keeps offering him, right? It's the same thing. I just want them Zimmons right here. If they realize that I'm gone and by that time I'm in the next town, great. That's fantastic for me. So here I can't get this guy because of pro potential. You could build that up over time. It's going to take some time to build that up. But right here, Maples. I got perfect right here. Another guy here, Ben Shaw. No offers whatsoever on these guys now. And I don't get JUCO, guys. I am not a JUCO type of player. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to keep adding up guys that have no offers right now. And I'm going to check this every single week, okay? Because you don't know what's going to happen, okay? There's times where I've seen guys pop up and I'm like, where the hell did this guy come from? Okay, so the goal is to be very aggressive. I found this quarterback. No one's offering him. I'm going to give him 35 hours a week, which is not a lot. Not what I love. Zimmons, I'm going to chill on for a second. These guys here, I leave on my board because I just want to see, because I think I could get Brooks, but before I get too aggressive with Brooks, tight ends, just realize tight ends are going to be sitting there for a while. That happens. Those two guys, one team may jump up on them. Remember, it's just randomized. But I've had times where the two tight ends weren't touched for forever, and I've jumped up enough to where I could clear that, because your whole goal is to get them to commit, get them scheduled, get them committed as fast as possible, because then that clears up the points. So right now what I did was I went 35 hours, okay? These two wide receivers, I don't know if they're good. I'm not going to scout them, but all I know is I'm going to give them 35 hours and try to get ahead of everyone else and hope some of these guys get caught sleeping where they're not doing much with them, and then I'm going to go from there. Offensive tackle, I just cannot not go after Lloyd. Like, I really have to go after Lloyd because Wisconsin is eventually going to catch on, and they're going to go after him. They're going to see that it's easy to be able to pick him up. I may only get one offensive lineman this year. Oh, well. I don't want to be super aggressive with those offensive linemen right now. And these two guys, the likelihood of me getting them, I'm not getting Terry. And the chances of me getting this guy as well is virtually impossible. I could remove him from my list. It's just not going to happen. This middle linebacker, also not going to happen. Pull him off my list. I think I can get Yates. I really do. I don't think I could get these two guys. I think Georgia's making a run on this guy. I think they see, and toe to toe, I cannot compete with Georgia. Like, they're gonna punch me in the face, and my jaw right now is just not ready for it. But here's the thing: think of other avenues. Okay, I have two safeties chilling right here, just chilling. And I could probably go and grab them. So I'm going to go 35 hours on most of these guys, because if I cut 5 hours from each one of them, I was able to put 35 hours onto another guy. Okay, 25 hours, you're starting to get into sketchy territory, because your whole goal, if you make things take too long, then you're in trouble. Okay, you're in a lot of trouble, because those guys, when they do decide to catch up, you need to be far enough in the next town to where you can land them. I'm not going to try to get all of these guys. If I could get, 9 4 stars this season, I'll be happy with 9. Okay, that's around my goal. If I get more than 9, then it's going to be just an added bonus. If I get less than 9, to me, I failed. Okay, that's a failure. Even if I get 7 and like a crap load of 3 stars, whatever, I'll feel like I failed. So this is kind of how I'm setting up my recruiting board. Some of these guys are going to get dropped off quick. We're probably going to end up getting down to like 15 or something like that. So now I'm in the next week. The one quarterback, he cut me off, right? He was like, hey, I don't want you. So I have 35 total hours now. I can add these on other guys. You could see these guys here. They just offered him a scholarship. They are not going after him. So I have a good potential where I can actually probably go after those guys and pick them up. This guy, I'm going 40 hours. This guy, Michigan's already made it very apparent. This guy here, he's gone. This is a guy that I could go after, and I could potentially snag him, which getting those guys would be huge. So that's 35 hours there. I instead of putting 40 hours on one guy, You can see I made a huge jump with this middle linebacker. Massive jump, not getting him. Iowa's snagging that guy. Tennessee, all they've offered him is a scholarship. So like I was saying, you could see that they're just offering him scholarships. Mississippi's going to turn it on, and then Raging Cajuns are going to lose for sure because they're just not getting aggressive. And I'm not going to be able to get aggressive. So I'm going to probably lose these two guys. It's just that's what's going to happen. But I'm not going to go against competition when there's no point. I'm not going to do it. I'm leading on the quarterback right now. I just got to keep fighting like hell. Offensive tackle, I'm leading, but Wisconsin can make that gap up real quick. This center, I'm leading, but boy, oh boy, that one's the most risky of them all, is that center. This cornerback, not as risky, these safeties. So I'm still sitting in a really good spot at this moment. I'm just trying to get to where I can get a visit. That's it. And then I just realized, don't screw up, but it's going to happen at times. I forgot to give him a scholarship, so that sucks. But I have this quarterback ready to visit, which is huge. So you can see there, look, if I win, I get 3 influence. Like that's phenomenal. So this is the playing time. This guy loves playing time. And then look, you can see his playing time. He's already telling you his biggest interest. So it really helps you when you don't see, because like, let's say it was a question mark, I'm still going playing time because I see that's his deal breaker. The CPU tells you, okay? So what I did was I pulled off the points from the quarterback to give him a visit. And I also pulled off points from, it was my right tackle. Now it's sketchy to do. There's no doubt it's sketchy to do, but there's only so much that you can do to be able to land these guys. There's only so much. Then the very next week, what I'm doing is I'm putting his hours back on. That's all I'm doing. I'm putting his hours back on. I'm going back to that offensive tackle. I'm putting those hours back on. And I obviously keep looking to see, okay, where is the visit, right? Who's ready for a visit? So you can see these guys are all ready for a visit. Every single one of them, which makes it really, really tough on me. If I could get them all scheduled in, this would be huge, but it is what it is. So right here, I will pull off the 10 hours there. And I'm just going to keep trying to do this dance here. But I would like to bring on Yates, and I can't bring him on until week 7. So that sucks, but playing time, I'll go to his deal breaker. Proximity to home is what he likes. Okay, so proximity to home, I'm going to go with that, right? That's the best I can do. Okay, so again, here with these guys, I'm going to pull these points off. I'm going to schedule him for a visit. And then I could see here it's probably playing time is what he likes. Yeah, so schedule them together. Schedule them together because then you'll get complimentary visits. If it's the same position, they don't want to give you complimentary visits, right? They're not going to like you very much. But I would like to at least get them scheduled as fast as I possibly can and go from there. So these wide receivers, I'm definitely going to go after, and then I'm going to put all the points back up on the board for them. So proximity to home, and then I'm going to go with that guy as well. I'm going to just keep trying to get them all scheduled literally as fast as I possibly can. I want it to be over and done with as fast as I can. Even this guy here, I'll still schedule him at that time. It drops down, but if I can win that game by week 7, I could perhaps get all those guys that I need. I'm just looking for just a wee bit of a gap here. I just need a wee bit of a gap. Okay, so wide receiver, he doesn't like that. But I'm not going to play around with it because if I could just get him in, then I'm going to be fine. So this is where it starts to get really, really sticky. Okay, really, really sticky because you want to just be as fast as you possibly can. So I'm going to pull those points off that guy, and then I'm going to go for ready for a visit because I have 1 week, but I'm getting most of my guys. Here's the beautiful part. I'm getting most of my guys, so it's got to be proximity to home, I imagine. Yeah. So most of my guys, I'm getting ready for a visit, right? So visits scheduled. Look at all these dudes. Okay, so I'm looking at 2, 4, 6, 7. 7 guys right now that I'm getting already scheduled for a visit. All their hours are going to come right back the very next week. Okay, right back the very next week. So it is beneficial, and I could pick up where I left off, and then I can only pull from some guys and what have you. So that's the goal. So my visit scheduled, I already got my quarterback scheduled in. I have 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. I have 10 dudes scheduled so far for me, and now I have 120 hours left. So this is when I turn it back on and start giving hours out to these guys that I need to crush it with, right? So these two guys here, you can see Clemson starting to jump up on this guy. These two guys are still not. I don't know if I can beat Clemson. I really just don't know if I can beat Clemson here. I really just don't think I can. I think Clemson's getting real aggressive. I think I would almost have a better shot to get him, but I'm already up ahead. I got him scheduled, so I don't have much of a choice here because I have like a couple of weeks where I'm screwed. I'm literally sitting there screwed because I don't have, like this guy I'm just hanging on to. I'm just trying to get him on. Week 11 is where I'm bringing him on. So that's sketchy. Georgia could easily come in and steal this linebacker. And then the Dragons are coming up. So, you know, that's not fun. So I gotta just keep allocating these points to, you know, try and fight. You're basically just looking around and going, all right, who's a threat now? Who do I gotta jump for as quickly as I possibly can? Freaking hell. These two linemen I'm going after. I got to go after this wide receiver. I really just need. And then I'll give him more points this next week. But that is the goal right at this moment in time. And I got to give this guy some points. I'm going to give him 10 and just boost up on that. So this is the last week, and then I get my points back. All right, we got the quarterback committed to us. Beautiful job. And the D tackle commits to Alabama. Oh, man, I missed on that one by ever so slightly. I was so close to snagging that one. That really kills me inside. That just really gets me inside. Really pisses me off. But, you know, it is what it is. Week 7, I think I can get this guy. I really do. I don't really think I even need to give him that many points. But Clemson, literally, they give me PTSD. They really do. They give me PTSD. I'm not even kidding you. See, Wisconsin's getting real buck for this guy, and I got to put all of the points back on him and just push like hell. And this is a guy here, too, because I'm sitting at how many guys? So 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 13. Oh, boy. Okay, so here's where you're just managing the points as much as you possibly can. I'm ahead here with this guy, but there's no real possibility that I can get that guy. Mississippi is just closing way too quick. Way too quick. So, unfortunately, this is toast for me. Mississippi caught on way too fast. Way too fast. So, for some of these guys, I'm going to go 50 hours. I'm going to try to get them as quickly as I can. And, wow, just super unfortunate. But this guy here, he's a guy that I would definitely go 50 hours on. I don't want to lose him at all because Clemson can really come up. I'm not going to be able to get this guy. The chances of me being able to get him, unless I can go 65 points, is just so slim. That linebacker, I should be able to land very soon. Oh, boy. Yeah, some of these guys. This is a guy here that I would really... I'd have to spend 60 hours on him. Where can I get 60 hours? That quarterback. Thank God. Okay, so I'm going to pull these off. Okay, let's take it over to the safety. I do not want to lose this safety. I don't want to lose him. I want to beat Clemson. So I'm going to give him the 60 hours. I'm going to send the house and get real aggressive on him because I don't want Clemson. I told you Clemson's a dirty devil. They're a dirty freaking devil. Oh, God. Fight here with the Yates. I gotta beat them. I should beat them this very next week. So this is just where it gets like really close in every little point matters. Every hour matters. Thank the gods. Give me another one. Yes. Yes. Oh, God, that saves me so much. Oh, 2 of them committed. He committed to UAB. Are you kidding? Oh, dude, you kill me inside. You kill me inside of my face. Oh, I hate you so much. I hate you, Clemson. You locked me out. Playing style? When did that change? How did that all of a sudden you changed your play style randomly? That's what you did? So I'm still looking at 2, 4, 6, 8. Oh, man. I'm beneath my goal. That sucks. But it is what it is. It is what it is. You can't change that at all. Okay, so I'm ahead there. This is a guy I got to just get ahead. And then now I can start going after 3 stars. That really pisses me off. I am going to literally have less than my goal on 4 stars, and it just honestly murders me inside. A lot of these guys have no offers, but I can't get them. Can't get them at all. Sucks. Man, that sucks. And now at this time, I'm going to be adding up 3-star guys. I'm going to my recommended because now the CPU's like, oh, you're actually better than I thought. So then I'm just adding these guys up. And what I'm doing is I'm just literally giving them scholarships. I'm not even scouting the 3-star guys just yet. I'm just giving them all scholarships. Make sure you're doing it in the scholarship tab, though, because it's so much faster than what I'm doing. I only had 4 guys, so that's why I didn't do it. But then from there, because these guys have no one offering them anything. Okay, so if I can just get a bunch of these guys to put me on their board right away, I'm going to still keep on to this guy because I don't know what's going on. I'm not going to be able to get him, but the play style, that pissed me off. I don't understand how that changes randomly like that. It just doesn't make any sense to me. The randomization is just too aggressive. But we're still looking, if we can get 8 4-stars, that's great, and then get a bunch of 3-stars, and then at the end of the year, I can start to tune up and be like, hey, which ones are gems, which ones suck, and then pull them off. So as you can see right there, we got it open for us. I can give him 75 points, which I'm definitely doing that. There's no question in my mind. I am giving that guy 75 points. That's why I didn't pull him off. Definitely not going to pull him off. And then all the rest of these guys, if I can give them more hours, I will. So I'm going to pull this off here, and then I'm going to give him that many hours. This guy here, I'm fine with that. I got to look for scheduling a visit. So yeah, these are the more important guys for me that I'm going to do whatever it takes to be able to go and get. So this one's 65 hours. I'm going to give him 50, send the house, give him 75 there. This guy's a gem, which I love. I'll give him some hours as well. But before I do that, I want to make sure my list is full of dudes here that, what is this? Is it saying playing style? See, some of these just make absolutely no sense. They just like pull off, and then all of a sudden your play style like changes back, and they're like, oh yeah, now I love you again. So I'm scouting some of these guys, but for the most part, what I'm doing is even these 3-star guys, I'm taking a chance. I'm giving Freeland keeps, turning around and saying his play style, it doesn't work for us, and then I'm fighting that battle, and it really sucks. But it is what it is. I got to keep him on my list and then just keep giving him the 75 hours when I can. And then the rest of these guys, I'm just like, all right, I'll give you 5 points apiece, because you can see I jumped up with 25 hours. So I'm just giving them 5 hours, 10 hours. I'm trying to just spread it out to the 3 stars, because it's at this point, it's just a race. That's all it is. I'll give you 5 points apiece, because you can see I jumped up with 25 hours. So I'm just giving them 5 hours, 10 hours. I'm trying to just spread it out to the 3 stars, because it's at this point, it's just a race. That's all it is. Okay, so let's take a look at our class that we got so far. We did get the tight end. We got the free safety. We got the 4-star quarterback. We got a 4-star wide receiver, 4-star right tackle, a 4-star middle linebacker, 4-star tight end, 4-star right end. And then we got a gem wide receiver. We got another wide receiver, another wide receiver, another wide receiver. I'm going to use these guys and move them all over the board. I'm going to change their position to where, they're going to be much better off. Didn't get a lot of these guys down here, obviously. So, that sucks. But to sum it up, what we have just this year is we're ranked 22nd. So we have as many 4 stars as Texas A&M. We're ahead of Florida State. We ended up with 22 guys in our class. I would say we did pretty good. We beat Wisconsin, Stanford, and this was only the first year. Okay, Nebraska, Texas Tech, a lot of these guys, we beat quite a bit of dudes that are way better than us. I mean, so for our first year, I would say this was below my average, but still good enough to where I'm satisfied. So quick look, we'll look at the guys that we picked up. Larry Graber. Pretty good quarterback. He was not a bust. Didn't get a halfback, but guess what? Doesn't really matter, because we got a lot of these freshmen here. This guy's a good route runner. We got a lot of really good dudes. So what I could do here, he's a physical guy. I don't need to move him to tight end, but you can see he jumps up to a 71. This is why you don't have to worry too much about you don't need to worry too much. But see, if I move him over, right, this guy was technically not that good, Maples. He was technically a bust, 4-star, which is fine, because now I have a 74 overall receiving back. So that's where you want to look at this and try to build this team up as much as you possibly can. The 2 tight ends I got are better than my seniors. These are the best dudes. So I got a quarterback who's going to have a running back, who's going to have wide receivers, at least decent wide receivers. They're actually better than my main wide receivers, so that's an added plus. I got 2 tight ends. I don't know where my tackle is. I got a freshman center who's actually not too bad compared to the other guys. And then my right tackle, Lloyd, he was not a bust. He was pretty solid, I will say. Freeland, also not a bust. Changed my defense quite a bit. And I got 2 freshman D tackles who are pushing my senior. I mean, it is ridiculous. The Mike linebacker, Smith, he was a bit of a bust there. There is no doubt he was a bit of a bust. But cornerback did good there. That Tremble is not too bad, not too shabby. And then these are the 2 safeties. So I ended up getting Lopez and Nava. And I would say pretty fantastic there, because if you take Lopez, you can move Lopez to cornerback. You can move him basically wherever you want, and he'll hold that value pretty well. So it at least gives me more corners and better. I've patched up the team a little bit. I obviously need to hit it a lot more, but imagine if I did this for 3 years. What's my team going to look like? Okay, so by year 2, I'm already in week 3 right now, something like that. I don't know what I'm in. So I'm in week 5. That's what I'm in. And I have 10 upgrade points, but within week 5, I already got commit. And I have 235 hours left. So I'm in hot pursuit for this guy as well. And I'm going to upgrade linebackers just so I can go out and get this guy. This is another guy too. I'm going to spend all my points getting these guys up as high as I could possibly get them. So by the time I am in my 2nd year, and let's say I'm week 12 right at this moment in time, you start to upgrade your coach accordingly, the way you should. And so far I have a lot of 4-star commits more than I did last year. This one I'm not going to win on just because my play style, the guy canceled me out. But I'm going to leave that open just in case it changes. It's like a bug, some kind of bug that they have. I'm on hot pursuit for this 5-star middle linebacker. So we'll see if I can close that gap quick enough. Hopefully I can. Hopefully I can just smash that out. Same here. I'm fighting off Clemson. I've upgraded my guy. And then now is where I've added a bunch of 3-star guys because the 4-star guys are basically done, 4 and 5-star guys. And I've just given them contracts because, once again, I can't scout all these guys. So I'm looking each week at the prospects is what I'm doing. Now that my coach is better, I'm going to the prospects here. And then what I'm doing is I'm going to top prospects. I'm just going on the offer, looking who is available. Each week there was a guy who popped on the list. So that's what I'm trying to do, capitalize, and I'll show you my class at the end of the year. All right, let's see how we did in our second year here. We got 12th, or we were 13th, which pisses me off. We got 1 5-star, 9 4-stars, and 17 3-stars. I did better than Kentucky, Texas A&M, Michigan, Wisconsin, Nebraska, LSU, Auburn, Ole Miss. I'm doing better than SEC teams. This is just my second year. Imagine 4 years from now where I'm going to be at. I'm going to be very, very dangerous. So if to all those people out there that said, like, you can't take a 1-star and apply those same methods to a 1-star program. Yeah, you can. There's no reason that you can't do that. Zero reason that you can't do that. My quarterback's going to be an absolute beast. Graber's going to be a beast. Maples, he was a wide receiver. Moved him over. He's an absolute beast. He's better than all the guys I have by far. And I'm going to take one of these other wide receivers because I went heavy in wide receiver because my receivers are terrible. And I'm going to take some of these guys and I'm going to move them over to running back. That's what I'm going to do. I got one of my tight ends transferred, but I have 2 really good tight ends. This guy's going to be in the 80s this next year. And it's going to be fantastic. And then I got really good offensive linemen where I take these offensive linemen. I'll take a guy like this. I'll move him to one of the other positions. And I'll just keep building up like that. That's what I'll do. I got a right guard who's better than almost all my guys. And then I'm going to take this guy and I can move him somewhere else. And I'm actually starting to have, a pretty nice freaking team here. It's pretty nice. So good right end here, really, really good. Good D tackle there, another decent D tackle there. I could probably even redshirt him, take another year. This freshman, 5-star, I got a 5-star freaking middle linebacker sitting there who's an absolute beast. Outside linebacker, obviously a little bit of a problem, but I got a really good corner here. So these 2 guys were redshirted last year. Which is great. It's just put me into a great spot. I got another really good safety. I got another really good safety right here. So you can do this regardless. If you follow the methods, you could do this regardless of what team you're on.